Hello everyone and welcome to Warhammer Online Return of Reckoning, the private server. Today I would like to take you through my tanky build. The tanky build, you can find it on my website as well and see it a little bit more in writing. It is my most favorite build. It's a frontline build, quite a survivability is off the roof in this server at least. So let's see the version from the scenario. Please keep in mind that this is the hardest grind for any NG because everything you need comes from the scenario. So it's a big grind, but definitely worth it. So for this build, we're using a full set of oppressor. This is the scenario. Now, if you're not on that level yet and you want to try the build, you can also try it with the Dominator. Is the version before that, but you won't be as tanky, of course, but you can get the idea of it. So we're using this set, and we're going to put in every single piece armor talismans. Personally, I'm using the 164s because I could not afford higher. If you are a talisman maker or you have a lot of gold in the game, I would definitely recommend replacing them for the 180s. That will save you space, maybe to add some more wounds or some more ballistics, or just leave it as it is and have extra armor. It doesn't hurt. So this set of 2 pieces will give you 62 ballistics, 3 pieces, 68 wounds, 4 pieces, 10% chance to raise a protective barrier that absorbs 200 damage over 5 seconds, 5 pieces, reduction on receive critical, and on the 6 pieces, which is the most important, when you're attacked, 10% chance to increase parry, invade, and disrupt by 10%. It's a very defensive build. For the back, I'm using the Forest Wrap of Devouring because it has wounds, ballistics, and very high spiritual resist. It helps a lot against casters, especially sorks that they hurt. This one you can get by farming any level 40 mob. It's a random drop, so it might take a while. However, I recently checked at the date of this video the auction house in order, and there's at least 10 of them very cheap. For jewelry, I'm using the Wings of Impervious because it has very high resist. It's mainly for the resist, not the statistics, and also give you 25 initiative, which reduces chance to receive critical and a bonus of 210 armor. It is a 3-piece ring, so the fourth one is really your choice. For this example, I am using the Genesis jewel that gives dodge and disrupt for defensive purposes. You could, however, use also the back of Genesis for extra ballistic if you want it, but I don't recommend it. We're looking at defenses. If you have the Invader ring, definitely use that one. Or if you've done cities already, you could also use the Sovereign ring of the Shield Master. They work nicely. For weapons, we're using the scenario weapons, but this time we're going to use the ones that give reduction in armor penetration and reduction in being critically hit. On the offhand, I use Wounds Talisman, and on the main weapon, Rains also armor. Uh, the Wounds Talisman here is optional, guys, but you need the wounds because don't forget we are armor tanking this, which means when the armor is ignored by witch elves, the only thing you have to survive is your wounds. So try and balance it out a bit if you want. So now we've seen the gear, let's go and see what skills we're going to use on this build. This is a build that's designed for you to be on the front lines, dealing medium damage and survive long time. The idea is that when you play scenarios, you'll be able to hold the flag, delay the enemy, slow them down in funnels, and basically be as annoying as you can until reinforcements arrive. So for this one, we're going to play Grenadier. We're going to take Napalm, Phosphor Shell, Sticky Bomb. We don't need any of the range or reduction at the moment, and we're also going to go on the Tinker Pass to support it, Keg to keep us alive, Lightning Rod for the extra damage, and we got 2 points. Usually I put them here to increase the damage of my dots a little bit, and that's it. Okay, let me put some of them where it needed to be, just for the example. There we go. And you have your skills. For renown, we're going to look to a lot of defenses. When you're doing renowns, please always keep the tab open so you can check what's going on here. So we already have 0% chance to receive critical. Okay. My doll might be a little buggy now, but anyways. Full wounds. I'll train so you can see the differences and what changes on the character. So we go all the way up to 8,900 wounds. The next one we're going to take is full parry and full dodge and disrupt. I'm going to train. And we are going to take that extra 3% because it's going to take below 0. It helps a lot. And we got 1 point, which I'm going to put an initiative to reduce the anti-critical chance even further. And that is 80 points done. So let's see what that done for us. We are at 810 ballistics. Okay, I know it is low, but don't worry about it because the idea for you is to live long, not to burst or to deal damage. We have almost 9,000 HP. Defense-wise, we are looking at 28% parry, 30% dodge, 20% disrupt. Now, on this occasion, don't forget, once the oppressor set kicks in, you will add a 10% in all of this. So you will go 38% parry, you will go 40% dodge, and so on and so forth. And this is what makes it so powerful. Armor-wise, we are 3,588. And once you drink, I usually use the 825 potion, which I'm going to drink right now. As you can see, we go 4,413, 100% physical damage reduction. So against the melee and 38% parry, we're very good. Our resistances are about 33, 38%, and 42 in elemental. If you're in a party, if a rune priest, archmage, or a knight has the resist aura, you will be about 44%. You'll be very good. And finally, when it comes a little bit to dodge and disrupt as well, if you find yourself in trouble, you can always use your flame turret, which will give you an extra 33% on disrupt and 35, if I'm not mistaken, on dodge as well. So you'll be quite more defendable. So you can use that to defend yourself better against the range where you're dealing with a melee on a flag, on a final close-up, or anything like that. For your tactics, there's only one choice, really. And that is Ancestral Inheritance for the extra armor. Masterful Aim for the ballistics, so we can deal a little bit of damage. And also it helps with the strike through to actually bypass enemy defenses for your dodge to be applied. Fighting Chance, which will increase strength, ballistic, and weapon skill. Although as a Grenadier build, you don't need the weapon skill. Weapon skill also increases parry. That's why we use that. And for the ballistics, and definitely Expert Skirmisher. You cannot play this build without it. It reduces your casting times by 50% when you are 20 feet from your target. You need to have someone actively clicked 20 feet from you or less for this to work. And why do we need this? We need this because we don't have instant deployment. We are using lightning rod and we are using the keg. If you imagine that you have, let's say, 5 people hitting at you, whether you're guarded or not, and you need to drop your keg, the pushback on that skill, which is 2 seconds, will be too much. You can reach 3, 4, or even more. The highest I have reached without Expert Skirmisher being attacked in a scenario is 6 seconds to drop the keg. While you are hammering down the keg, which is this animation, that's why I say hammering down the box, that's going to bring out the Bagman's Best, you do not attack, you do not DPS, you don't do anything. So you cannot afford the pushback on your casting time. That's where Expert Skirmisher comes very handy. Also, if you are jumped by anybody, your turret will drop faster, your lightning rod will drop faster, the keg will drop faster. And when you're using firebomb to burst somebody, as you can see, it says 0.5 seconds. That is because it counts the actual speed of the Expert Skirmisher up close. So instead of having 1 second cast time and 1 second cooldown, the global cooldown, you have half a second and one. You save half a second overall. For those of you that are going to be playing this build, basically the rotation is very simple. You usually drop your bombardment turret to be there. You do napalm on top of you, lightning rod for the extra damage. They're already ticking, they're static, keg, and then you apply all your dots that you have, friction burn and all that. If you need to burst, you go focus fire, hip shot. And if you're overwhelmed and you're thinking, what the hell, you can also drop phosphorus shells on top of you. And that is how you stand there. It's very good against 1v1. You can also do some 1v2s, provided you have a full range of potions. Don't forget the potions, guys. It's very important. You can either buy them or craft them. They're very easy to do so. You know, double pot for the healing, shields, extra napalm for the damage if needed, and of course, action points. For this build, for the morals, I play usually with concealment against ranged. The armor plating, I prefer armor plating over focus mine, but you can choose, for ignoring silence, disarming, and all that. And removing them is very good as well. Morale 3, definitely Cannon Smash is a great finisher if you're in trouble. You play against a very good tank, for example, you're trying to kill it 1v1, grind him down, boom, dead. And I always keep as Morale 4 Hail of Doom in all my builds, regardless, for sieging situation or cluster groups. It's massive damage, very bursty, and it helps a lot. And that is the tanky build. I hope you guys find this useful and help you to make your own little tanky build. If you have watched my previous video on the DPS Grenadier, we've said that on the DPS Grenadier, we have different options here. But for the tank build, I would definitely recommend this. I've tested almost every configuration there is, and this is the one that works more sufficiently. If you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe and like below. And if you have anything else you need help with, feel free to visit my Twitch channel, and I'll try and help you out there in real time.